we were pissing neon green every day.
The big ball of heat in the sky was too much.
I thought there was a bear.
Reality goes, yeah, fresco. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, everybody. What's up, everybody? Welcome to
StouryTime.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to StouryTime with John and Friends. I'm your host, John. Today's guest most recent release, The Commitment to Permanence, was released last November with his band No Cure. Please welcome my new friend, Jake Murnane. Jake, thanks so much for joining the show.
Hey, man. How you doing?
I am great. How are you?
Doing great, man. Good to be here.
Awesome. I love that. I really appreciate you coming on the show. Why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Jake. I play bass in a band called No Cure and a band called Moru, both based out of the Southeast. I live in Nashville. Moru is like a metal band from here, and No Cure is a band based out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Nice. Very cool. How you doing today? What'd you do today?
Doing good. I'm still on like a bit of a medical leave from my work, so I'm waking up and I'm hanging out until it's time to do something else.
Nice.
Which has been kind of a nice like break because like we've been touring our asses off, and like when I'm not on tour, I'm just like going to work. So like now I have a little like break to just like relax and get like my bearings and all that.
Absolutely. What do you do for work when you're at home?
I work for a company like it's like a vegan like food factory basically. Like the restaurant here in Nashville called the Beehive.
Oh, okay.
And I work for their production facility, so I'm just packaging products all day.
Very cool. Very cool. So I gotta say, man, No Cure is heavy as dude.
Thank you, dude. Yeah.
I've been listening. So I hadn't heard of you guys. I am not straight edge. I appreciate the music. I don't drink. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I when I saw your posts, I had to give it a listen, and holy dude, you guys rip so hard.
I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, we started being a band. We recorded our first EP like November 2021, so about 3 years ago. Put it out in like February or March 2022, and then just like we were supposed to be like a fun side project band.
Okay.
We're gonna play like a couple shows a year. And then we ended up playing 1 million shows instead.
Yes. Yes, you guys have been very busy. I've noticed that after doing some research. Now, how exactly did you guys form? It's because you said you're in Nashville, but the band's based in, where was it?
Alabama. So
Alabama.
3 of us live in Alabama. I live in Nashville, and then our drummer lives in Lubbock, Texas.
Okay.
So we're all kind of spread out apart. So our singer, Blythe, and our guitar player, Aesop, they were both like they wanted to start like a new like straight edge hardcore band, and reached out to me because like Blythe and I were friends from his old band toured with my other band back in like 2019. So we were friends from that, and then Blythe met our drummer Dewey. Same deal. Their old bands have toured together before, so became friends from that, and then like we're all straight edge, and we're like, okay, let's start a band. A fun little like side project, whatever. So the 4 of us got together, and they kind of like wrote like a bunch of songs just like on like tabs basically, and sent to us and like, all right, these are the songs, let's record these. So we did that, and then started playing shows like I think like March or April 2022. That's where we got our other guitar player Kyle as well. He used to play in a band called My Children, My Bride, like a metalcore band. 2008-ish. He played in that band for a while, and like that was like how Blythe knew him, just because like he played in a Christcore legendary band. That's kind of like how we got started, and like started playing shows here and there, and then eventually we got like some like we were like, oh, do you want to like tour a little bit? Let's do that, and then that just kind of turned into, oh, this is our main band for all of us, and we got to put all our eggs in this basket because it's going well and we're having fun, and like people want to see us and we want to go out and tour, and so
that's awesome.
It's been fun. Yeah,
very cool. So being located in all different places, like what is the writing process like?
So it is extremely easy because our singer and our guitar player, ASAP, just get together and they write some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, okay, cool. They demo it out on a computer. They send it to us. They ask if we like it. We say yes or no. Usually yes because they're good at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all get together, demo it out, or not demo it out. We go to actually record. And there we can add like our little like 2 cents, like, oh, I think this could be cool. If we change it a little bit this way or that way. But yeah, it is mostly just them because like they don't like to have like too many cooks in the kitchen. I can't write because I don't have a brain for that shit. Like I can't write heavy music, man. Like I like emo shit, you know.
I'm the same way, man.
But yeah, yeah, and like the others, like we all like have like our 2 cents we put in, but like it's mostly Blaze and ASAP is kind of like hammering that shit down.
Okay, very cool. So I saw that you guys I watched the music video, the Blunt Force Love Song music video. What was it like shooting that video, and then what was the idea behind that?
That was a lot of fun. So we just like had like the idea of like, what if we do it in a graveyard, like real kind of like, I don't want to say like generic or it feels kind of cheesy, but like in the good way because like we do like the, playing in front of like tombstones and like having like the girl with a hearse there. That was a friend of ASAP's. She's owns a hearse and ASAP's was under her, so they got together and had her come out to just like be part of it and like do all that. And it was just like we pulled up there at like the second it got dark enough and like we knew no one would see us and like it was like gonna be spooky enough. So our friend Nick Chance, who's like a great videographer, photographer, shot that for us. And then we hammered it all out in like a couple hours and just had to basically hide from anyone that was like could potentially see us like trespassing because like we had to like skirt around some fences and stuff like that to get in there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, very cool. I also saw that you guys recently did a Norma Jean. Were on a tour with Norma Jean, correct?
Yeah, we did three shows at Norma Jean on their 1994 tour, which is like them like going through like their whole like discography basically.
Yeah, very cool. What were those shows like? Because I feel like they've been. So I grew up listening to them. I grew up in a Christian household, and so Norma Jean when it was Josh and everything, that's kind of what they were back then on that first Bless the Child, Kiss the Martyr, or maybe vice versa. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head. But so what were those shows like?
Yeah, so they were a lot of fun. Norma Jean as a whole team are the best dudes in the world. Like they were all so sweet to us. Like it was like a real shame we only did 3 shows with them because like they are just such a great group of dudes. They're all like super nice to us, like wanted to hang out, which is like something you don't always see when like kind of older dudes are in a band,
Right.
Like when you've been doing that for 20 years, like you probably just want to go sit on your bandwagon and like not hang out with like the band you have out with. But like as we pulled up to the first show, like they were like waiting outside, like talking to us.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like they were just all very sweet dudes. The shows themselves were sick. Like the way that tour was set up, it was really cool because it would be like Norma Jean direct and then a local support. So like I always think it's like the best move possible when you can add a local band to a show, just because like one, it helps like the actual touring bands like not have to play to sometimes less people than they would, and like it gives like the local sport like or local band like a chance to play a really badass show like in their own hometown.
Absolutely, yeah. And I feel like that doesn't happen that often, like with most tours when they're bigger, like a lot of the tours going through, that doesn't happen much anymore.
Yeah, it's definitely a bummer, but they did it right after like for these shows. It was sick. Like all the shows were really fun. We only did 3. We did like I think Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, something like that. And they were all fun. Yeah, like it was just like a very like I don't know, it just felt like a very smooth little run for us. Like it was a lot of fun. Everyone was so great to us. I was very thankful to be on those shows.
Awesome, very cool. So what are some of your guys' major influences as far as like when you guys are writing, or what do you listen to in the van when you guys are on the way, driving from city to city, that kind of thing?
Yeah. So like when they're writing, I know like Aesop and Blythe, like Aesop's favorite band of all time, I think, is Hatebreed.
Okay.
She's a guitar player. She does a lot of like writing as well. She loves Hatebreed. The reason why I play in C standard is because Hatebreed plays in C standard, and she like learned guitar just like learning a lot of Hatebreed shit. So Hatebreed's a big thing for us. And then for like more like modern shit, like things like Harm's Way and things along those lines are definitely where they kind of pull from, like when they're writing.
Mm-hmm.
When we're in the van, it's kind of like whoever's driving is the one who's in charge of music.
Yeah.
And we only drive at night. Like we never drive during the day. We
Okay.
overnight every single night, which is good for like your well-being like during the day, because like you're not just spending all day in a van just being miserable. We have to be like in the city where we're playing and like enjoy our day.
To maybe find something to do before the show kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so like some of our guys in the band have like 9 to 5 they need to work still.
Okay.
So what we do is we overnight every night to the next city, find a coffee shop that's gonna be open in the morning, and just like go and post up there. So like our guitar player Kyle, he's like a dental tech, so like he just like he like CAD designs teeth all day long.
Oh wow.
So he's doing like a real ass job.
Yeah.
And then our singer Blythe, he works for a promoter, so he's doing like promoter work, like sending out like emails and stuff like that. And then Dewey and Aesop, drummer and guitar player, they're both designers, like graphic designers. So they do all of our stuff as well. Like every shirt we have, they designed.
Okay.
And then I have nothing to do usually, so I just go and do shit I want to do, or I'll play my Steam Deck or something like that. Like I am a photographer as well, so like usually when they're like local bands, like on like a longer tour, I will hit up like local bands and like offer to like shoot their set for any amount of money just to like have a little extra cash. Yeah.
For sure.
So like when I do have like locals I'm shooting, I will like actually have some work to do, but like as we've been getting tours that are like of like a little bit higher, like we did a tour with a band called Boundaries earlier this year, and there was not a single local on the entire tour. And we did a tour with Gideon earlier this year as well, and that one had some locals, but not very many. Like probably like of like the 30 shows, I think it was probably like 7 or 8 locals the entire time, which is like it's not ideal all the time, but like I understand why it happens. Like especially with like like Boundaries, that was like their first like full US headliner.
Yeah.
I think a good portion of like why they would do that is like, you want to make sure like you get like an accurate read of like how many heads you draw.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so like I will never like be like, oh, you shouldn't do this. Like I fully understand why bands do that. Like it makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's still a business too. So you want to produce,
exactly.
You want to provide a product that like, you see some of these tours that come through some of these towns, and they're like stacked lineups, and it's like, well, realistically, there's no room for an opener,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I totally understand it as well. So typically, this is a storytelling podcast. I reached out to you to see if you wanted to come on and talk music, share some stories from the road, anything like that. Do you have anything that you'd like to share as far as like tour memories, anything like that?
Oh man, I mean, I still feel like we're like a new band, so like it's hard to think of like memories.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've got like a lot of like really just like fun memories of like the road in general.
Let's hear them. Anything you want to share?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me
You're
conjure one really quick. Okay, yeah. I mean, like I think my favorite like off day I've ever had in my entire, like I've been touring I did my first tour in 2017. And I've done at least one tour per year between like 2017 and then I guess like I probably did like a handful of tours between 2017 and like pandemic times, and then after that, I started like touring for No Cure a whole lot. But like, off days are usually just like, you're going to like a mall or some shit like that and it's like killing time, or like you find like a friend's house and you're there. But with No Cure on this past Boundaries tour back in like May, June, we had an off day in New York City, and I'm a big Yankees fan.
Okay.
So we got to go. I convinced my band, not all of them, I convinced 4 of my band guys, me, Kyle, Dewey, and Nick, our photographer, to go see the Yankees with me.
Hell yeah.
And they played the Twins. They won. It was just like one of the best days of like I've ever had like on tour, because like I was like, I'm dirt poor and I'm buying like a $14 seat up in the nosebleeds and like waiting for like, it was like a really bad rain delay and like waiting for like to like, clear up a bunch of people, and being too poor to like buy the food there, but I was like still just having like the best day of my life. And I was like, being there with people I love a lot, and like knowing I'm there like because like of music, it just felt like I was like, damn, this is a good ass day.
Hell yeah. Was that like, had you seen them play before in person?
Yeah, so I actually grew up right outside Syracuse.
Oh, okay. I'm in Buffalo.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that.
I think I did know that because I've seen like the podcast. I was like, I put it together because like I watched like the Matt with Hannick one.
Yeah.
And like the
Shout
Greg
out.
and like those are my Matt and Greg are 2 dudes like I've known for like a long time.
Okay.
Like since I lived in New York still. Like I remember like watching like Bungler and Trespassers and shit like that.
Yeah.
When I already come to Syracuse. Those are just my dogs right there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I went to go see the Yankees when I was like fucking like 11 years old, and not again since then.
That's crazy.
Like, 15
so that was
years, 16, whatever the fuck it is.
So that was probably a pretty special moment, honestly.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, like, because like baseball's my favorite sport. Like, I love that shit.
Yeah.
And I love just like having a day to go and do shit with my friends, because like sometimes in my band they kind of like want to just go to like a coffee shop and read their emails and do all the boring shit. I want to go do stuff. Like I want to go be a tourist. I'm a tourist all day long.
Yeah, for sure. That's like, I feel like that's one of the things that people who tour for years kind of lose over over time, although, not obviously not everybody, but also like depending on the city you're in, because like Nashville, I could move there tomorrow. Legitimately. So I used to play in this band called The Traditional.
I am very aware.
Okay. But so we toured, we hit Nashville all the time, and we always had a really good following there, and we would like set it up to where we had like 1 or 2 days off in Nashville. I love Wannabes. I don't know if you've been to Wannabes on Broadway. It's a karaoke bar. It is the most fun fucking thing in the world. It's like, we did a 60-day full US with A Fortune and Fame from Syracuse.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Nick Berger, right?
Nick Berger stood in my wedding.
He's I love Nick Berger.
Yeah, he's such a good guy. He's been on the show too, but so we were on that tour and we went to Wannabes, and it was just like a blast. We're all, enjoying ourselves, having drinks, drinking, or singing songs in this front window. So the way it's set up is like they have this in the front window when you walk by this bar. There's like 6 small windows, and that's the stage. So like when you're singing, your back is to the windows of the front. And we would go, and like the bartenders loved us because we were just having so much fun, and we didn't give a shit what people thought. We were being goofy. We played do you know what is it? Suicide karaoke is?
No, I never heard of that before.
So basically it's like you and I would go to a karaoke bar, and then I would sign you up for a song, and you don't know what it is until you get on stage. So we would just,
damn, that is a nightmare scenario to be in.
It's so fun when, like, if you don't care or whatever, it's so fun. It's such a good time. And like sometimes you get up there, you're like, I don't know this song, so we're just gonna go for it, kind of thing. But I fucking love Nashville, man. It's my favorite. I would move there tomorrow if I could.
Yeah.
But
I've been here for like 8 years now, something like that. I still love it a lot. Like I love it as much as I did when I got here. But you will never catch me dead downtown unless I'm working.
I,
Like,
I feel that, but that's me being like the tourist there. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, I don't care about any other bar or anything down there. Like, I told you before, I don't drink anymore or anything, but like,
mhm,
I I don't give a shit about that actual street. It's that one bar is so
yeah.
fucking fun, man. Like even the bartenders were like, "Are you guys coming back tomorrow?" And we're like, "Well,
That's so funny.
we have the day off, so maybe." They're like, "Please do," because people were like, they'd see us singing and they'd just come storming in, into the
That's
bar. It was
awesome, man.
dead, and then people would come. It's just a good time there. I've never had a bad experience in Nashville. It's always been a lot of fun.
Nashville's a lot of fun. Scene here has always been pretty cool. Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah. Did you play like Exponent Manor, places like that?
Where did we play? I don't think it exists anymore, but it was like the
Owl
Owl
Farm?
Farm, Owl
Yeah,
Farm.
another place like a little before my time here, but I've heard nothing but like just like really cool stories of that place.
Yeah, that place was really cool. That show was funny too because like, when we're on the road for that long, I've been I'm guilty of being like, I'm not watching the other bands. I don't care. Like just being like, I'm going to
Yeah.
go outside and smoke cigarettes and sit in the van and text my girlfriend or whatever, and that show, I look back on it and I've seen like Nick Berger posted the flyer not too long ago. And I was like, dude, free throw, tiny moving parts, like us, A Fortune and Fame. And then there's another band, I
Crazy.
forget what they're called, but they were great too, and we played with them a couple times. It's gonna bother me, but anyways, like I look back and I'm like, what was I thinking? Like I just missed like those are bands that I listen to regularly now.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah,
But
that is awesome. I mean, that's the cool thing about Nashville. Like a lot of like, people come through all the time and you don't know who's gonna blow up. Like it's just very cool to like see someone kind of in passing, and the next time you see them, they're like, oh, they're a giant fucking band now.
yeah, right. It's like, do you know the band Hot Mulligan?
Oh yeah,
So
I've seen them a few times. They're
yeah,
good
yeah,
band.
they're awesome. We played with them in Milwaukee, and it was their first out of town date. They were teenagers,
Mhm.
and they were like, "Yeah, we came to the show because this guy wants to pay to record us," and then kind of like almost like he's not a label, but he seemed like he wanted to do something like that.
Mhm.
And we're like, be careful because you guys are teenagers. You don't know what you're signing away to. But they were so good even then. And then just like years later, we're like, holy shit. You look
And
at them
now
now, they're fucking
they're
huge.
headlining fucking like 2,000 cap rooms or some shit
I
like
mean,
that.
they were on that tour with Fall Out Boy playing arenas.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. It's very good to see that for them. I saw them play Bloodfest when that was a thing, like
Oh
that.
yeah, yep,
Like into school.
yeah.
And then I crashed with their guitar player one time when I was on tour with a singer songwriter from Nashville who toured. The guy named Bogues,
Okay.
who toured with Hot Mulligan before. So like they were already friends, and I crashed with them one night, and I was like, oh, I see why you're like I think personality is like a huge thing in like
Mhm.
a band being like getting big, like, and them just being awesome dudes is like, okay, so like you're good at what you do and you're like also very nice. Like
Like good
you
people.
should be
Yeah,
famous.
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
You
yeah.
should be rich and famous. You deserve it.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So now after saying all that, where is your favorite place? Not even maybe to play, but like visit while you're on tour. Is there anything
Uh
specific that you're like, when we're here, I gotta do this?
I mean, I'm a big beach guy.
Okay.
Like not even like I don't even have to go in the water. I just want to go to the water,
Yeah.
So anytime we play like San Diego, I'm trying to go like at least like to the water. New York City too, another one. Like I want to go and be a tourist, and like I want to go see like the Empire State Building and
Right.
the Trade Center Tower now, and like things like that. Like I just want to go do that kind of stuff. Any city that has a abundance of electric bikes, I also am having a great time in. One of my favorite days of our touring this year, I found an electric bike and I was like, I will spend $40 on it if I have to. And I spent like 9, and I just rode around. I think we were in like Denver or Colorado Springs, something like that. just riding around this park like in circles for like an hour,
That's
having
awesome.
the time of my life, just like listening to like some nice music. I forget what it was. It was like nothing heavy,
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
enjoyable like pop. I was like, I'm having the best time.
That's amazing. I love that. It's the small things, you know.
It truly is, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Is there any like cuisine that you're like, all right, when I'm in this town, I have to get this?
Uh, Man, that's a good question. I do enjoy any Chinese food when we're in San Francisco
Okay.
because every time we play San Francisco, we've like been in a or at least close to like a Chinatown type area, and it's always so damn good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so like that's like my go-to, and like because like also it's gonna be fairly cheap, and like I'm trying to save like money on the road, and I'm not just trying to eat like gas station hot dogs and shit like
Yeah.
that all the time.
You can only have Sheets and Wawa so much.
Before it eventually kills me, yeah.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
an honorable way to die. It's fine if I do, but it's not preferred.
Oh, there's a question. Sheets or Wawa?
I have this down to a fucking T,
All right, let's hear it.
and it depends on what you are looking for. If you're looking for efficiency, Wawa. I think you get more for what you pay for.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going for gluttony, it's Sheets because they've got like fucking mozzarella sticks on a cheeseburger, which is a fucked up thing to do to your body. And I'm a guy that likes to eat, so like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, but it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
But there is one thing that they both have in common, which I do appreciate a lot, which is the fact that you only really need to buy your hot item, and then you can just steal everything else. One thing about me is that I really enjoy shoplifting from gas stations.
Allegedly.
No, I'm not even like. So my band made these stickers for me. I'm not sure like if like video is part of the thing.
Yeah,
but
it
it's
is.
just no cure that it says shoplifting. And then it's the hot dog emoji, the thumb up emoji, and the glasses emoji.
That's
'Cause I
amazing.
think that's me. But no, I'll say it with my fucking chest. I love gas station. I shoplift from you every time I go inside.
That's amazing. I will say there was one time we went to a Wawa. I think it was like New Jersey or something, and
Mhm.
we were on tour with Save Face, and actually no, it was this band Jinmore. That's besides the point. But I had never been to a Wawa. I had been touring for years, and I still had not been to a Wawa. And we went in, and somebody was like, "Oh yeah, I just got a sub." I was like, "Okay, so where do we pay?" And we are like, "We don't know." So we just left. So we just like walked out, and then
Yeah, who
was it.
cares? I mean, like I would like preface like or like disclaimer. I don't steal from like mom and pop like small
No
gas
way.
stations.
No. Yeah.
No, only like,
Corporations.
Loves and yeah, the ones I know like
Yeah.
they don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's a
Like,
tax
every time
write-off at
folks,
that
like,
point.
Yeah, like if it's like like 1 a.m. and I'm walking up to the counter with like an armful of stuff and I don't see anyone, I'm going outside and then I'm going back in.
That's your fault.
Yeah, it's your fault. Then I'm going back in and I'm gonna try again with more stuff. And like if you don't want to check me out, that's on you. I don't care.
Jesus Christ. That's too funny. So I noticed. So you guys aren't on a label, right?
Ask me again in a few weeks.
Okay. Well, so I'm right now. You guys are not on a label. What is it like doing the grind and then getting the opportunities that you guys have been getting? Because you guys are getting some major fucking tours, and you guys are so fucking busy. Like you're always out.
Yeah, it is very like it's satisfying knowing that like everything that we've done is because we've worked our fucking asses off for.
Mm-hmm.
Like now that we are now on like a agency, like we have a
Booking agency.
A booking agency.
Yeah.
That is very good. But we haven't done anything through them yet. Everything
Okay.
we've done has been like independently or like a band asking us to do, which like is just very like satisfying because like every tour we've done, like has been like bands that I have already fucked with. Like in 2023 we toured with the Acacia Strain,
Hell yeah.
who is one of my all-time favorite like heavy bands.
Mm-hmm.
And like when we got that offer, we're like, oh, I mean, like I'll quit my job if I have to. Like I love this band so much. Luckily, I don't have to because like my job's very cool about like touring and shit. But like I was like, yeah, I will do anything for it. Like when we, I know it felt like genuine because like at the day they wanted us on because like Vincent, their singer, was like wearing like our shirt on stage and shit like that for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just like, oh, he actually likes us. Like he's not just like being a nice guy or like doing it because you know, like the agency says, oh, you should take this band out and tour because it's because he liked us, which was like that was very satisfying and like it felt like very fulfilling. Like, and we were on tour with them for my 27th birthday, and they let me sing Beast with them on stage, which was like one of the coolest moments of my entire life. Like that was just like one of the cooler days of my entire touring career for sure.
That's awesome. What's it like now being friends with like a band that you looked up to growing up, you know?
It feels pretty fucking crazy. Like it is wild. I can like text like, you know, Dan from Gideon to be like, hey man, hope you're doing good. Let's hang out when you're home.
That's awesome.
Like, I mean, he's an example because like I've liked Gideon's another band I've liked since I was in high school, and like they were also just so quick to be like our friends and shit like that. And like right when we got home from tour with them, they went Dan got married and like messaged me to like go out with them and shit like that. And I couldn't do it for one reason or another. But I was like, it just feels cool to be like, oh, these are real guys who also view me as like a real guy, which is very satisfying, you know?
Yeah, no, very cool. So I want to ask you, but we don't have to go crazy about it. Something very recently happened to you. Could you just maybe explain what happened?
Yeah, so we were finishing up our tour, little like run with Mouth for War, in Nashville, and there was a little altercation at the show. Ended up with me and Blythe both getting cut by some guy with a knife. I got one in the stomach and one in the leg, which ended up I had like a small surgery, and I had 29 staples in my stomach and then 10 stitches in my leg. And Blythe got a shitload of stitches in his leg as well. But yeah, it was not my favorite thing that's ever happened to me.
No
It's like if you had the opportunity to get stabbed, I don't think I would recommend it. I think probably avoid it if you can.
Yeah.
Just because like it was a very annoying process and also pretty painful at times.
Right, I'm sure. What was it like? A like pretty serious stab, like a puncture, or
It was like a slice, so they went like all the way across like my belly, basically.
wow. Okay,
Yeah,
that's fucked. I'm glad you're all right.
yeah, me too. I mean, I got my staples, my stitches out yesterday, and I'm feeling like $1,000,000 again.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we played 2 shows between then and now. We played a Furnace Fest pre-show, and then the actual Furnace Fest as well, while I had all those fucking staples in me.
Right.
And I did it as like I was like, we could have dropped them because like we're both like kind of injured from that. But there was
kind of injured.
kind of injured. I mean,
I'm gonna downplay.
I don't know like how like dramatic to be about that kind of shit, and like I don't want to be because like
yeah, I know, I understand.
Yeah, but we were like, it is a important thing that we continue to play shows. Like we had to drop a couple shows, unfortunately. Like we were supposed to play in Tampa and Jacksonville like the next day or 2 days after that, and we had to drop those because like I was in the hospital for a full day, and Blythe he got out, but like he, you know, still had to go through something fucking terrible.
Yeah.
So we ended up having to drop a couple shows, but like the Furnace Fest shows were really important like as like for a band and like us personally, I was like, we should play these fucking shows. So
Yeah, and that was their last one too, right? Like that was the end of
it
Furnace
is
Fest.
the end of Furnace Fest as we know it. I believe
Okay.
they're gonna do something else in the area, like similar, but like I think that's the end of like the actual like Sloss Furnace like festival, you know.
Okay. Yeah. So I wanna so like walking onto the stage for Furnace Fest and that pre-show, like what's going through your mind in that moment because of what you had just endured?
It was pretty fucking like the pre-show. It was kind of crazy. Like I was just like I couldn't focus on like okay, cable one goes into amp and then pedal board. This one goes from pedal board to like I couldn't like focus on anything. I was just like I don't know. It was like really like I couldn't like I my mind was like not like focusing on anything besides like I want to just fucking like rock
Yeah.
so bad. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it was hard to focus on like logistical shit. It was like I just want to play this fucking show.
Yeah, for sure. That's understandable. Was the adrenaline just like crazy, even just walking up there?
It was because like I could like feel like in my stomach like immediately. I was like, oh, I just want to fucking like run and jump, but I can't
Yeah,
because I'm
yeah.
gonna tear out my fucking staples. And like I am a when we're playing a typical show, I am usually running back and forth and having
Hmm.
a good time.
And
Uh,
then,
for Furnace for the pre-show, I had to like kind of like chill out,
hmm
which I was like, this is a fucking bummer for. And then for the actual Furnace Fest like festival show, I was like, it's been 10 days. I'm gonna move around a little bit more. And I
see what you
did
can do.
see what I can do.
Yeah,
And I did, and like I could feel like the second I got off stage, I was like, I'm in so much pain.
yeah, yeah. I believe that. So, is like, what was the crowd response when you guys came out? Because I'm assuming like whether people knew your band or not, because it like when something like this happens, it it's everywhere, because bands are supporting you, people who don't even know you are supporting you as far as like support this guy and his band and what they're going through kind of thing. Like what was the response and how did they receive you guys when you came out?
It was both like really like they were great. So Furnace Fest takes place in Birmingham, Alabama, which is like where we're based out of,
Yep.
and like where like half our team lives. So like I'm looking out and I'm seeing like a mixture of people who've been like I either like become friends with because of this band or I've known for years. And then a mixture of like, old ass dudes who don't know who we are. They're there for to see fucking Zayo, which is
Yeah, for sure. That's been
understandable.
around for 1,000
Yeah.
years and they've gone I
um,
don't think they have an original member, but that's besides the point.
I don't think so either, but that's also beside the point. Like,
Yeah,
good for them because they're a badass band.
for sure.
Uh, but like, it was a very well received set both times. Like the pre-show, like it was just like I don't know, so many people I love out and like they just like I could like it felt good like looking out to the crowd and seeing like a bunch of people like I know like love and care about all of
Familiar
us.
faces, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that was really great. And then for the actual festival show, I couldn't really see out in the crowd as much just because like the sun was right in my fucking face.
Hmm.
But like I did see a lot of fucking like, it was one of the bigger shows we ever played probably at that point.
Hmm.
Um and I was like, okay, these are people that are here to see us. Because we got added to Furnace Fest like with like 48 hours notice, something like that.
Oh wow.
Or maybe 3 days, something like that. It was a very short amount of time. Like,
Still very short
yeah,
notice.
Incendiary dropped, and they asked us to replace them, and we're like, yeah, no kidding, of course we'll do that. So we hopped on, and I was like, even if like, people are watching, I think it was like the showdown on your stage, like as long as we have like a handful of people out there, that'd be cool. But it was a big ass crowd, which felt really good for us.
That's awesome. Yeah. What was it at all emotional for you?
It was so emotional.
Yeah.
Like it, I don't know, like the adrenaline kicked in, and I was like, damn, I am just so happy to be playing, doing what I want to be doing right now. Like I'm playing a fucking show with these people I care about, 40 people that care about me, and it's like it was a very like I'm so happy to be here moment.
Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. And more power to you and Blythe for performing so close after all this shit happening, because holy shit.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. So moving on, I don't want to really focus on that too much. I'm sure you've said that enough. Spoke about that enough. So let's see what I got for you. Do you have any? Is there any like? What's the funniest moment that you can remember from touring?
My favorite moment of like I think of all of our touring time is on our very first tour. It was like November 2022, and we're in the Northeast. I think we're in Philadelphia,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, we're all like kind of getting a little sick. Like we have like allergies, whatever. And our guitar player Aesop she's making these gross ass like snorting noises, like again all the snot back in her nose.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, you need to go to a CVS and go buy medicine because you're being disgusting. So she gets up and walks away, and maybe 60 seconds later she comes back, gets in the van, lays down, and we're like, what's up? And she's like, the CVS had no door. And we were like, it drove to just silence for a minute, and we're like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, there's no door to the CVS. I couldn't get in there. And she said it was like genuineness, like, yeah, there's no doors to get in. It's just like a room full of people, like a terrarium. And we're like, what do you mean there's no door? Like, there's got to be a door. And she insisted like there just wasn't one. And that has been a lasting joke in our band for the past 2 years almost now. Like anytime we get lost or we can't find an entrance, like, oh, it has no door. Like it's just like a very simple matter of fact, like it has no door.
That's funny, man. Do you guys do any touring games or pranks or anything?
So Kyle is a very strange, whimsical man.
Mm-hmm.
And what he likes to do is he kept on taking harmonicas and taping them to or attaching them to people's vans. So when they be driving on a highway, they start hearing a whistling noise. He's done it to a couple of bands, and none of them ever mention it to us. So we don't know if it's even working or if they're just freaking out internally.
Have you guys tested this yourselves?
He has.
Okay.
He will do this shit on his own. He's a crazy guy. He's just our strangest dude. When we were he just has shit like that.
Yeah.
When we were when we went to Canada for the first time, we played Toronto. And obviously we go over the border, and the border patrol's tearing our van apart and looking through our bags. And we see them go to Kyle's bag and just taking out slide whistles and harmonicas and whoopee cushions or some shit like that. Just the strangest things you'd see in a 37-year-old man's bag. The most professional guy in our band. He has a real ass job and has owned a home before, and
right.
He just also has a bunch of slide whistles and harmonicas, just toys,
clown gear. What?
It literally is his clown gear. Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, at least you're not like Matt Watanek, and you guys didn't have a big black dildo under the front seat.
Yeah. I got that part of the episode, and it got me good. I was like, damn, at least it wasn't us,
Yeah, right. Also, all right, settle something for me. Do you guys have a big dildo in your van somewhere?
No.
See, Matt?
There's no need for that.
I fucking told you.
No, I mean, we're a very normal, not normal, but we don't blow money on dumb shit like that.
You don't fuck with dildos. I get it. Neither do most bands.
I think Matt is in the wrong there. Not in the wrong, just in the minority of what you buy.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. That's too funny. Do you guys play odds or anything like that?
I try to get them to play odds all the time, and no one ever does it with me.
Yeah.
Once in a while, Dewey will do it with me, our drummer, because he's younger than me. He's 24. So I feel I can get him to be like fun and like, you know, go do dumb shit with me more
Spur
often.
of the moment shit.
Yeah, spur of the moment shit, and like get him to play odds, but like they don't ever want to play it, and it bums me out so bad. I think Blaze has like an aversion to it because he used to tour with that band Orthodox,
Okay.
and they would play that game a lot, and like they'd get him to do like, or they'd like, I don't know. Apparently, they'd get him to do like just like, you know, attacking your friends and shit like that. It's like it's like, man, what does anyone gain from this?
It's very
You laugh
different
for a
from
minute.
the game of odds that I've played. Like when we would play, it would be like silly shit, you know? Like
Yeah, my other band Moru, we'll play that when we're on the road a little bit.
Yeah.
But like we haven't been on the road in a few years, so like it's been we haven't done it in a while. But we're going out next month for the first time since 2019. So
nice.
I think we're all going to be like, you know, 3/5 of us don't really tour. Me and our drummer, he plays in a band called Your Spirit Dies.
Okay.
That tours quite a bit. But the other three don't tour as much as us do. So like I feel like they're gonna feel like, you know, kids at a sleepover, and I am all for that. Whereas like I'm gonna be like, yeah, let's play odds. Let's stay up late and fuck around, you know?
Hell yeah, that's awesome. There's two memories I have from playing odds while on tour as the traditional, and one of which was I got our guitarist with a what are the odds do you remember like the gas station, like the candy goo like tubes?
Yeah,
It's like
I think so. Yeah.
it's like a gel almost, but it's candy.
Mhm.
I oddsed him of chances he would brush his teeth with it, and I got it.
That feels terrible.
It was the funniest thing. It was because I have like a picture of him brushing his teeth, and he has like the most disgusted look on his face because not only was it that shit, but it was like sour apple or
sour,
something.
and it feels terrible, and you're rubbing it into your teeth.
He did that, and then he immediately brushed his teeth afterwards like 100 times, and then threw his toothbrush away because he's like, it's not helping. It's just getting
there's
worse.
no way that's like making your teeth better ever again.
Absolutely, there's just sugar just like natted into it.
That's fucked up, man.
And then another one, I've told this on the podcast before, but we were on our way home from, I don't know, it might have been from Nashville, but it was we played a one-off there or whatever, and we were in Pennsylvania, so we were close to Buffalo, a couple hours away, and we stopped at this gas station. It's probably like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, something like that, and we're about to pull out, and my guitarist goes, "Hey, Charlie, what are the odds you'll run inside that gas station, scream, 'I'm having a fart attack,' and then do a cartwheel and sprint out the doors?" And he goes, 1 in a million, and he fucking got him.
What was the number?
42. I remember it like it was yesterday. I have a little clip of it from like, you know, Snapchat or whatever. Dude, it was just, the moment was so stupid because we were about to pull out, so we had to like pull a U-turn, pull back in. We pull up to the door, he runs in, I run out behind him with my camera out. Like, there's probably like 4 people inside this place, and he just does it, and we're dying laughing. It was so stupid, but it's like,
that's one of those things that's like so funny to the band itself, and then the employees are like, "I hate these motherfuckers."
yeah,
so
they're
much.
like, "I hope you die." Just stupid shit like that. But that's the type of stuff that like keeps you going, you know? It's just those moments.
Like, having like a high morale is like so important to
absolutely
like, just like longevity on the road, you know?
Especially with DIY touring too. Like you could have a really good show and then a fucking terrible 3 or 4 in a row, and then another good one. And so yeah, for sure. What is the strangest thing you've seen in one of your pits?
Oh God. There's this guy who loves to dress up like a banana. Like he has like the fucking banana suit.
Yeah.
And he insists it's like his thing. And yeah, do whatever you want, man. But I think you're corny, and I hope people kill you. I mean, with no shade to him, like as a guy, I'm sure he's fine. But when you are like, you got to look at me, I think that's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
What else has been? I mean, there's been like, I've seen someone do like the worm. People start doing like push-ups and shit like that, and I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't do, but I am going to tell you that you do look like a fucking dweeb. Like like it's like it feels like a fucking like catch-22 being like, no, you gotta look cooler by just moshing, and we all look fucking stupid doing that. But like, it's like just be as normal as you can, I guess, man. I don't know.
Yeah. That's funny. Do you guys have you had any like crazy van troubles, anything like that, or like accidents, shit like that?
We've had some troubles. So on our first full US, it was My Shoulder, My Bride, us, and Your Spirit Dies. And we are driving from like Rock Island, Illinois, which is the middle of nowhere, to Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
And in the middle of, I think, like Iowa, me and our photographer at the time, Thad, we're driving. It's like 5 a.m, and I just hear this like loud ding, and I see all the lights start to get a little bit dimmer, and he's like, "Oh, battery light's on. Oh, the van's turning off." And he pulls over, and we realize it's the alternator. The alternator just went like that, like never like an issue before, just out of nowhere, just gone.
That sucks.
And so we, it's like 5 or 6 a.m. It's like May, so like the sun is like coming up and all that. And we call AAA to like come help us out because like we're just like on the side of the highway, and we're like looking at like the nearest like auto shop, and it's like the next exit up, and like like 3 miles down, and then just out of nowhere, he's like, "Let's try just to turn the van on," and it just turns on. Like, grace of God just fucking like helped us out there. For whatever reason, the van turned on, and we're like, okay, let's just go towards this auto shop as fast as we can. Don't use a single, light. No, don't use any turn signal. Just saving as much battery as we can. So we end up like just going and getting like probably like a mile and some change from the the like home or not the Advanced Auto Parts, whatever the fuck it was. And post up there until they open. Kyle, our guitar player, is a insane handyman and can do anything he wants. So he walks, buys an alternator, walks back to our van, takes it out, puts a new one in, like it's nothing. Like it's a very simple thing for him. It's like it was changing a tire.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
That is crazy. Like that's insane. That's insane. Alex from A Fortune and Fame, we had a ton of problems with the van we took, and we borrowed a van from this band Head North from Buffalo.
I remember Head North.
And day one of tour, the van broke down. Like actually the night before. So like the day we were leaving, we had to bring it to the shop and get shit done. And then like days in, it just kept breaking down. Yeah. And one of the funny things was their regular headlights wouldn't work, but their brights would. But you couldn't just turn them on; you had to hold them on. So they were like, we have this like hair scrunchie that like if you tie around it, it'll just hold it up against the thing. So we did that for like a good portion of the tour, and I'm driving through like the Midwest somewhere. It's pitch black. It's basically the desert, and the lights just go out. I was like, okay. And then they turn back on, and then they turn off, and then they turn back on, and then they wouldn't turn back on after they turned off. So we drove for a few hours with just the flashers, and all you would see is like, no, I can't see anything. Okay, we're still on the road. I can't see anything. Okay, we're still on the road because the flashers would eventually kind of show up.
Yeah.
And at one point we stopped in Nashville, and we were like, we're gonna leave this on the side of the road or some shit. We can't afford to do this every time because we had gotten it fixed like 3 times on tour already. I'm probably exaggerating. Maybe it was once or twice. I don't remember exactly. It was so long ago. But
when you're fixing the van that many times, you once feel like 100. So
it wasn't ours. It wasn't ours too. So we're fucking putting all our money into this thing, and we don't even know if it's gonna get us home. And then we're not getting paid back for it, But we stopped at what's that venue? That bigger venue in Nashville. It's like the church one. They have that the church.
The Ryman?
No, there's like the skate park near it.
Oh, Rocketown.
Yeah, Rocketown. So we parked
Yeah.
in their parking lot, and then Alex was like, I have this idea. Hear me out. I'm going to take the fucking wires for the lights, and I'm going to hardwire them to the battery. And we're like, I don't know, man. This is a pretty terrible idea. It's not our van, whatever. Because what had happened was where you pull the light switch for the headlights, it melted completely through that little
God.
motherboard. So we're like, I don't know. And I was like, I can't let you do it, man. It's in my, like, I signed a sheet, like a contract stating I'm liable for this and all that shit. And yeah, we ended up just driving like during the day. And if we got to where we needed to be, we were there. And if not, then we just had to cancel the show. So we wouldn't know whether or not. It was fucking terrible at the end. The whole tour was amazing, but like there's moments, you know.
That is such a nightmare scenario.
Yeah. But having somebody who can put in an alternator is insane to me because it's like that person is meant for tour.
He's a lifer. Like he was when he was in My Children, My Bride, he was doing like 300 days a year. It was crazy.
That's insane. That's insane. We were doing a lot at one point, and like I can't even imagine getting remotely close to that. That's absurd.
Yeah, I mean that's probably an exaggeration, but like it was a significant amount of touring. Like,
yeah, that's insane.
9-10 months of the year.
Yeah. Wow. So I just have like a few more questions for you, and then we'll wrap things up. Do you guys have any like pre-show rituals or any superstitions before you get on stage?
Not really. Since we're a straight edge band, we always like X up our hands.
Okay.
Just because like we always thought that was cool when bands did that, and like we always just try to remember to do that every time. We all have like our own things that we do. Like Blythe does like he could do some like stretches, and like ASAP like is like warming up with a guitar. And Dewey's doing like a lot of like drumstick like weird stretch and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
I am at the merch table, so I am selling until it's time to play, and then running straight to.
So your rituals are what size? Oh, here.
Yeah, and then like I'll be right back, and then I go and play. So that's kind of it for like any like thing like that.
Yeah.
But like the Xing up my hands is like kind of like the more like only thing that we like kind of like actually do like ritual wise, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it. I mean, it makes sense because it's like what you guys stand for and
exactly
the message you're trying to bring. So very cool.
Once in a while we all forget, or like someone will forget, and it's like we clown each other for it, but like
you're on edge watch.
Yeah, it literally is shit like that. Yeah. Dewey wears gloves, so
Okay.
like we tell him like you have to like X up with gloves, and he just never does it.
That's funny. All right, and lastly here, what is your favorite song to play?
Oh, that's a great question. We have a song called Self-Preservation.
Okay.
On our last record called The Commitment to Permanence. It's just like it's got the most fun riffs. It has a guest spot from a very good friend of mine, Adam Easterling from the band Orthodox.
Okay.
So whenever he's around and he can sing that part, it just adds how cool that fucking song is. We usually open our set with it, so like it's just like a very like explosive start to our show, and like I don't know, it's a lot of fun. Just a really like I don't know when a riff like is a little more like bouncy and fun for me to play.
Mm-hmm.
I just have way more fun, and it's like like 0 1 3 4 the entire time. Like when I can actually riff around and have some fun. That's when I'm having a good time.
Hell yeah. I lied. I got one more for you. Future plans. What's in the future for the band? What are we looking at?
We have an EP coming out at the end of this year. I'm sure. I mean, by the time this comes out, like it'll be close to like when we announce that. So
Okay.
if someone watches this a little bit early, way to go.
You know the secret. Don't worry,
yeah.
I won't tell anyone, man.
And then we have a tour with Stick to Your Guns in Europe in January. And then a full US soon after that, which hasn't been announced yet, but that'll be coming as well.
Awesome. Jake, I really appreciate you coming on the show. Thanks for sharing everything, all your stories, all your memories, anything like that. I'm glad you made it out all right. Everybody's doing fine. You and Blythe. I hope you feel even better, you know, a week from now. I'm sure you will. I appreciate you. Yeah, now's anything you want to promote, social media, anything like that, now's the time.
You can check out my band and anything you want to. No Cure. I also have another band called Moru. We put out an LP earlier this year that I think is fucking sick. It's like a little more nerdy prog shit and death metal shit than No Cure is, but like it's still really cool. We put out a record called The Gods We Thought We Were. We released it independently this past summer. It's good if you like that kind of stuff. Listen to that. But yeah, just my two bands, which I think are both pretty fucking cool.
Awesome. Thanks again, man. I really appreciate it. Everybody's thank you for sticking around, watching, listening to the episode. Everything he's got going on, both bands, all that information I'll have down below in the description. I'll have links, all that stuff. Make sure you go see them on tour. Pick up a record, t-shirt, anything you can do to help. You guys have a shirt that's helping with his medical bills and Blade's medical bills, all that good stuff. Show some support. These guys are awesome. They fucking shred. Give them a listen. Give his other band a listen. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Bye, bitch.